here in this really plain room, I'm going to tell you all about the new purpose of this YouTube channel. Yesterday I was talking to Liz Valish about how her vlog, Lizzie Books, makes me want to vlog more, but then I was facing the conundrum that I didn't really know what to vlog about. And part of the reason that I wanted to vlog more was because while I do blog, I also spend a lot of my time writing, and that makes blogging sometimes a lot less fun because, well, it's just a continuation of writing. And making videos is something different and new. And I generally like watching myself talk. So then, after having that whole conversation, sort of, it was like two-way back and forth thing, with Liz, I had a powwow with one of my best friends and a really close writing buddy of mine, Lindsay Kelso. And we were talking about plot holes and character holes and just general holes in the books we're working on. And while she figured out that she needed a small climax and a big climax, I figured out that my story started about 6 months before I had started it. And then I realized that, well, what better thing to vlog about than writing? Because that's what I do. I write. And I set this really sort of impossible schedule when talking to Lindsay for finishing the draft of books 1, 2, and 3. I'm writing a trilogy. It's known on Twitter as by the hashtag thatwarlockstory, and it's now a trilogy. It was originally 2 books. It's now 3. And I set the sort of impossible drafting date to have all 3 books drafted in the next 12 months, which means every 4 months I have to write a book. And that's insane, but it's also important because, well, I'm going to grad school in the fall, fingers crossed, and life is just chaotic, and also because Lindsay and I were discussing the benefits, pros and cons versus e-publishing and indie house publishing versus big publishing house publishing. And I pretty much am 95% positive, maybe 85% positive that I'm going to go with e-publishing or indie house publishing over big publishing house, but that means marketing and getting my name out there and all that sort of jazz. And well, in order to do that, I really think it's important that I have all 3 books penned before I start trying to push them into publishing. And I want to do that in the next year. So I've given myself the sort of impossible task of writing a lot. And I realized that the only way I could keep up with that is if I had something vaguely resembling a deadline, keeping me motivated, and I'm making that this YouTube channel. Every Thursday I'm going to vlog about my process and the chaos and the calamity that goes along with writing that warlock story, and I'm going to talk about tips for writing, and I'm going to talk about tools and strategy and planning and research and all that kind of stuff that goes into writing in general, and specifically into this novel series. And while I obviously can't tell you specifics about that warlock story, if there are viewers, well, you'll watch it happen, and mostly when this year's over, I'll have something to look back on fondly. So yeah, today is the first Thursday. Today is also the day that I go back and kind of restructure everything, because what was originally 2 books is now 3, and so that requires a huge overhaul of my outline. And even though I have actually like several thousands of words, I'm essentially starting at 0 because I now have to pen a whole new book. So that's fun. Today begins the writing of That Warlock Story, Book 1. If you have any questions about it, if you have any questions about me, if you have any questions about writing, leave them in the comments below, and I will answer them in the next video, because I would like videos also to be interactive, because me talking at you seems kind of boring for both sides of this. So that is all from this really dull room that I'm in.